Hello everyone. Welcome to my YNR 24 Spoilers channel. Nikki versus Diane, Tessa's defense and Sally's secret. Spoilers for Tuesday, September 30th, 2025 are available for the young and the restless. Fans can anticipate that Sally Spectra will not tell Billy Abbott anything. Tessa Porter argues for what she did. Additionally, Nikki Newman corrects Diane Jenkins Abbott. Let's discuss the upcoming developments in the CBS soap drama as you continue reading. The Finding of Sharon Newman. This week's preview footage features Tessa explaining her plan to save Mariah Copeland to Sharon Newman. Tessa has been a single parent since the redhead went missing. Tessa now informs her mother-in-law of her quest to save Mariah and her marriage. Tessa had already decided on this, though, when Sharon requests that she give it some more thought. While Tessa and Daniel Jr. conduct their investigation, will Sharon look after Aria Porter Copeland? The secret of Sally Spectra. Another is Sally, who hides something from Billy. A weekly preview clip informs us that Sally and Jill Abbott have a video conference. Despite her affection for Billy, the redhead may be concerned that her feud with Jill is only making matters worse. That could be the reason Jill returns to Genoa City. The mother and son will not get along as long as Sally keeps this a secret. Billy, it turns out, reopens old wounds with Jill. Newman Nikki versus Jenkins Abbott Diane. According to Tuesday, September 30th spoilers for the young and the restless, Nikki and Diane will ultimately engage in a face-off. Kane Ashby's AI idea has everyone in a panic. Victor Newman and Jack Abbott strike a compromise, but Diane and Nikki might have problems of their own. Additionally, there's the matter of the agreement between Victor and Kyle Abbott. Kyle should have filled in Claire Grace Newman, even though he had excellent intentions about the agreement. Thus, the two women may also argue about that. Read this. Spoilers for the young and the restless. Will Victor finally lose as Jack and Kane join forces? September 30th, 2025, Tuesday. Claire also intends to accept Holden Novak's invitation to travel to Los Angeles. We are aware that Victoria Newman eventually finds herself in Los Angeles, alongside Claire. Therefore, it should be fascinating to observe how the other story arcs are impacted by the story branch. Claire's getaway, Lauren's enormous request, and Michael's temptation. Spoilers for Wednesday, October 1st, 2025 are available for the young and the restless. Supporters might anticipate that Michael Baldwin will struggle to break old habits. Lauren Baldwin, meanwhile, has a big request for Nikki Newman. Additionally, Victor Newman keeps Jack Abbott's identity a secret. Let's discuss the upcoming developments in the CBS soap drama as you continue reading. The temptation of Michael Baldwin. First, let's talk about Michael, who will be tempted. Despite Lauren's warnings, her husband finds retirement boring. The man truly wants a challenge and enjoys staying active and engaged. The lawyer pledged to prevent Michael from being stopped from the outside, while Kane Ashby released him. In light of Jack and Victor's agreement, I wonder if Michael will feel pressured to fulfill his end of the bargain in spite of Lauren's protests. Lauren Baldwin's impossible demand. The lawyer will be anxious to establish himself, despite the complex and unsatisfactory interplay between Michael and Victor. Lauren is the one who knows her husband the best, yet she is at her breaking point. The woman turns to Nikki and makes a big request of her. Although Lauren typically sides with Victor, she has done this before with Nikki. The journey of Claire Grace Newman. According to Wednesday, October 1st spoilers for the young and the restless, Claire Grace Newman will carry on with her vacation plans. But the journey with Holden Novak worries both Nikki and Victoria Newman. We are aware that Victoria and Claire eventually find themselves in Los Angeles. We already know that Nick and Sharon Newman will be visiting Noah Newman in the city. Victoria ends up accompanying them, so there must be a purpose for that. Audra Charles once stated that she broke up with Holden because she was afraid of his risky behavior. Are we discussing skydiving or some other illegal activity? Regardless, Claire is describing it as an adventure, but I'm concerned that she might find herself in a difficult circumstance. Read this, The Young and the Restless spoilers. Holden makes his move after Claire's comeback, creates drama. October 1st, 2025, Wednesday. Fans will also witness Victor and Jack maintain their partnership against Kane in tomorrow's episode. It's not Jack that worries Nikki. The woman suspects Victor will use any information he obtains to later hurt Jack. The Young and the Restless keeps drawing viewers into the complex world of Genoa City, where rivalries, secrets, and personal beliefs clash to determine the fate of people to whom viewers have been emotionally invested over the years. Tessa Porter defends her decisions about Mariah Copeland. Nikki Newman and Diane Jenkins Abbott engage in yet another chapter of their long-standing animosity, and Sally Spectra withholds a vital truth from Billy Abbott in the Tuesday, September 30th, 2025 episode. Each of these threads contributes to the greater picture of shifting alliances, treachery, and intricate family ties in addition to acting as standalone drama. One must examine not just the current events, but also their history, underlying motives, and likely repercussions in order to fully appreciate the significance of these tales. The secret of Sally Spectra. Sally Spectra has always been in the liminal space between vulnerability and ambition. She did not grow up surrounded by the wealth and history of wealthy families like the Abbotts, the Chancellors, or even the others, in contrast to many others in Genoa City. Rather, she has fought her way forward by using her survival skills, inventiveness, and fortitude. Sally was called a schemer when she first came into this world, someone who twisted the facts and took advantage of circumstances. Nevertheless, viewers eventually learned about a lady who longed for love, acceptance, and approval in addition to accomplishment. This is what makes her relationship with Billy Abbott so interesting. Billy serves as a risky reminder of Sally's own frailties, as well as a chance for stability. Sally makes a choice in this episode that reveals a lot about her fears and allegiances. She decides not to tell Billy about her video talk with Jill Abbott. This could appear to be a small oversight, but in the world of Y&R, where secrets are valuable, it is far from that. Jill is more than just a lady. She is Billy's mother, a powerful influence whose judgment and approval frequently determine Billy's mental stability. Sally is fully aware of the delicate nature of the mother-son bond, and she feels that by keeping her interactions with Jill a secret, she is shielding Billy and herself from conflict. There are additional layers to this decision, though. Sally may be keeping things secret out of fear of being rejected. Sally has good reason to be concerned that even though Billy claims to love her, his relationship with Jill may take precedence over their romance if she is seen as a sour note in their already shaky relationship. Furthermore, Sally might believe that Jill has concerns about her own value, and she does not want to give Billy ammo that might erode their confidence. However, by keeping the truth a secret, Sally runs the risk of exactly what she fears. Billy might see it as evidence of Sally's lack of candor once he learns the secret. Like in real life, trust is rarely destroyed by massive betrayals in soap operas. Instead, it is eroded by tiny omissions until the foundation is destroyed. This plot also has a clear connection to Jill's unexpected return to Genoa City. Jill's homecoming is rarely an accident. Rather, it typically means that she feels obliged to step in and help Billy. The confrontation between the three might quickly worsen if Sally's seclusion gives Jill a chance to interrogate her. Sally must face the fact that keeping Billy in the dark might not protect her from drama, but rather hasten it. The defense of Tessa Porter. Tessa Porter is on the defensive, not because she is being accused of betraying her, but because of the decisions she takes as a wife and mother, while Sally struggles with secrecy. Tessa has always been characterized by her complexity as a person and her enthusiasm for art. She is a singer-songwriter with a troubled past who has had a hard time balancing her love for Mariah Copeland with her own goals and fears. Despite having a strong foundation in love, their marriage has endured many hardships, and the present circumstance is no exception. Tessa meets with her mother-in-law, Sharon Newman, in this episode to talk about her plans. Due to Mariah's absence, Tessa is primarily responsible for navigating parenthood alone. It has been both rewarding and overwhelming to raise their daughter, Aria Porter Copeland, and Tessa feels lonely and in need of closure due to her partner's absence. In Sharon's opinion, her suggested course of action, to actively look into it with Daniel Jr., is audacious, proactive, and possibly dangerous. Sharon, a mother and an experienced survivor of the turmoil in Genoa City, advises prudence. Having experienced decades of heartache, peril, and loss, she is well versed in the repercussions of making snap decisions. Her natural tendency is to defend Tessa and Aria by promoting reason, patience, and trust through the appropriate channels. However, Tessa's tenacity displays a part of herself that frequently shows up when the people she cares about are in danger. She is fiery, uncompromising, and not afraid to take chances that others would avoid. Tessa's justification for her behavior stems from both desperation and passion. She would feel abandoned if she did nothing. She presents her choice as one that will save their marriage in addition to save Mariah. The underlying message is unmistakable. She fears losing her marriage and her autonomy if she does nothing. Additionally, Tessa is painfully conscious of the whispers that surround her, that she is not strong enough, that her past mistakes dictate her future, and that she is too preoccupied with her work to be a trustworthy partner. In addition to standing up for Mariah, Tessa is reaffirming her identity as a strong woman, wife, and mother by defending her decisions to Sharon. Practical issues are also brought up by this storyline. Who will take care of Aria if Tessa goes on this mission? Although Sharon's readiness to intervene offers a possible remedy, it also makes things more difficult. By providing daycare, Sharon can unwittingly support Tessa's reckless choice, entangling herself in a scheme she naturally hates. One of the show's recurrent themes, the hazy distinction between affection and control, between support and enabling, is highlighted by this tension. Diane Jenkins Abbott against Nikki Newman. If the stories of Sally and Tessa are about protection and secrecy, then the showdown between Nikki and Diane is the epitome of confrontation at its most unrepentant. There aren't many rivalries in soap opera history that have as much drama, history, and resentment as Nikki versus Diane. Having clawed their way into positions of power while facing rejection, betrayal, and manipulation, both women are survivors in their own right. Both have a history with Jack Abbott, have a complicated relationship with Victor Newman, and fiercely defend their families. In short, they are water and oil, bound to collide whenever they come into contact. This tradition is carried on in the September 30th episode, which brings them together once more. Although Victor, Jack, and the consequences of Kane Ashby's AI plan may be the immediate causes of their dispute, Nikki and Diane don't really need much of an excuse to get into a fight. Their contempt for one another is virtually existential and goes beyond particular instances. Diane is seen by Nikki as the epitome of everything dishonest, cunning, and opportunistic, a woman who enjoys snagging strong men and stirring up trouble. According to Diane, Nikki is the epitome of judgmental hypocrisy, a woman who hides her imperfections behind a facade of moral superiority while clinging to Victor's shadow to feel important. This altercation also demonstrates how Kyle Abbott's choices have repercussions. Despite being made in good faith, Kyle's agreement with Victor excluded Claire Grace Newman, a mistake that now feeds Diane and Nikki's arguments. Nikki, who is quick to defend her own family's interests, is unlikely to overlook the issue, while Diane, who is always supportive of Kyle, takes criticism of him as a direct attack on herself. Their conversation is expected to be acerbic, intimate, and tinged with animosity that dates back decades. The fact that neither woman is completely correct or completely incorrect is what makes Nikki versus Diane so intriguing. Although each of them has merit, their delivery and personal hostility guarantee that there will be venom in whatever resolution. This enduring rivalry is a reminder of the show's lengthy past, as well as evidence of how some disputes change over time, yet never really go away. Wider consequences. The young and the restless complex drama is exemplified by these three arcs. Nikki versus Diane, Tessa's defense and Sally's secret. They highlight various aspects of conflict, such as the implacable battle of personalities constrained by history, the silent deterioration of trust through secrecy, and the struggle to defend one's conduct in the face of uncertainty. Additionally, each thread contributes to larger plot lines, such as Jill's return to Genoa City, Sharon's possible engagement in dangerous activities, and the ongoing dodging of Victor, Jack, and Kane. These tales also serve as a reminder to viewers of the longevity of soap operas. They weave personal and familial drama with more general issues of loyalty, ambition, and identity, rather than just presenting discrete episodes. This is the result of years of character development. Tessa's resolve to take action, Nikki's stubbornness to back down, and Sally's decision to keep things hidden all speak to common human experiences that are made more intense by Genoa City's elevated stakes. Billy and Sally, an impending powder keg. The Sally, Billy, and Jill triangle is a ticking time bomb, not simply another romantic entanglement. Billy and his mother have always had a turbulent relationship, with cycles of loyalty, disobedience, alienation, and reunion, as viewers are aware. Sally unintentionally creates a rift between herself and Jill when she chooses to conceal their video chat. Billy has put in many hours to demonstrate his ability to make decisions on his own, both emotionally and professionally, free from Jill's constant scrutiny. The notion that his mother and his partner are having conversations behind his back is the last thing he will put up with. Even though Sally doesn't have a malicious purpose, the visuals are awful. Imagine Billy learning this fact from Jill rather than Sally. The story unfolds naturally. Billy discovers he's been left out. Jill admits she's spoken to Sally, and the cycle of mistrust starts over. Ironically, Sally may encourage greater conflict because she is trying to avoid it. Secrets in soap operas are like shadows. The longer they are kept hidden, the bigger they get. The consequences could push Sally and Billy's relationship to the limit when this truth finally comes to light. Despite criticism, Tessa's strength. Tessa wants to prove herself, not only save Mariah, which is why she is defending her decisions. Instead of being the savior, women has all too frequently been portrayed as the weaker partner who has to be saved. She repositions herself as proactive and prepared to defend the family she has created by choosing to work with Daniel Jr., since waiting feels like abandonment to Tessa. Sharon's guarded disapproval simply makes her determination stronger. Additionally, her position offers a significant departure from Mariah's typical function in their marriage. Mariah is frequently the pillar, offering stability and calming Tessa's fears. Tessa fills in for Mariah when she isn't there, even if it means facing criticism from others. Her defense is emotionally powerful because she presents her acts as essential for the benefit of her wife and child. This chapter will probably be a turning moment in her character, regardless of whether her scheme works or not. Diane and Nikki, lifelong enemies. The Nikki versus Diane confrontation is a quintessential example of Y&R. Two women with lengthy histories, acrid tongues, and a lot of personal baggage sparring over decades worth of grievances in addition to current ones. This struggle is particularly interesting because it isn't a vacuum. Victor, Jack, Kyle, and even Claire are drawn into their battle, which is tied to the greater power battles between Abbott and Newman. Diane portrays Nikki as a hypocritical hypocrite, while Nikki depicts Diane as a manipulator. As usual, the truth is somewhere in the middle, but neither woman is willing to make any compromises. The altercation also serves as a reminder to viewers that soap opera rivalries are cyclical. Nikki and Diane are caught in a never-ending tug-of-war, much like Victor and Jack can't help but keep returning to one another as adversaries or uncomfortable allies. Their hatred for one another is generational as well as personal, illustrating the ongoing conflict between Abbott ambition and Newman pride. Because Melody Thomas Scott and Susan Walters infuse decades of subtext into each gaze, scathing comment, and tightened jaw, fans love these sequences because they offer more than just language. Gazing ahead, Tessa's defense, Nikki's confrontation with Diane, and Sally's Secret are all three plot lines that work together as a single unit in The Young and the Restless. Larger conflicts are set up by every decision, every secret, and every confrontation. Billy and Sally may become estranged as a result of Sally's deceit, which could prompt Jill to interfere. Tessa's perilous journey has the potential to either bring her and Mariah back together or destroy their already fragile family. Just as Jack and Victor are forming a tenuous alliance against Kane, Nikki and Diane's verbal sparring could spark fresh Abbott-Newman animosities. Cause and effect, or the certainty that a character's private choice will inevitably affect others until it becomes a problem for everyone, is what soap operas are all about. The episode on Tuesday serves as a reminder that in Genoa City, no decision is ever minor, no secret is ever kept hidden, and no rivalry ever really ends. Even though Sally, Tessa, Nikki, and Diane may believe they are engaged in different conflicts, their tales will ultimately come together to form the greater storm that is on the horizon.